Hey guys, what's up? My name is Elizabeth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we're going to talk about a very serious subject, and that is why I am against abortion. Now, I was thinking about titling this video why I am pro-life, but as you can see, I did not. And the reason for that is that pro-life encompasses so much more than just the murdering of the unborn. It covers that as well, but it also covers suicide and covers the issue of euthanasia, which is killing the elderly folks. So I feel like that I really need to nail it down to just abortion and why I am actually against it. So with that being said, let's jump right in and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the gravity of this, as in how much does this abortion, murdering the unborn, really have an effect on our society, as in how many people does it really affect. And here's the truth of it: 1 in 4 women will have an abortion in her lifetime. And the amount of children that are aborted, murdered each year worldwide is 12.5 million. And this does not include birth control, which can be abortion. Not all birth control is abortion, but some of them can cause abortion, illegal abortion, unreported abortion, and self-induced abortion. One thing when I talk about this subject that I want everyone to keep in mind, and I need to keep in mind myself, because it's easy to do a debate about something and totally forget that there's a person, that there's a human behind it. We get so caught up being right that we forget about the idea of still loving that person and still having respect for that person. But we don't, doesn't mean we have to condone the action, but we remember that behind every decision of life and death is a person who is struggling, often broken and in pain, needing grace and love. In the specific case of abortion, it involves a mother, a child, and even the rest of the family. All these individuals need love and support. We as believers can still hate abortion, while we are still loving the mother, the family, and pointing them to repentance and finding restoration through Christ alone and His work on the cross. So, you probably have heard me say already, murdering the unborn. You're probably thinking, wow, that is a very strong word I'm using, murdering. And honestly, to start off with my debate of why I'm against abortion, we first need to understand the sanctity of life. Why is life important? Why is murder even bad? Why is killing a human being is even bad? Really, the answer is found in Genesis 9:6. And it says this: whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. For God made man in His own image. So, the sanctity of life, quick answer is imago Dei. I really hope I'm saying that right. Pretty much it's Latin for the image of God. We humans are created in the image of God, and because we are created in the image of God, God gives us the sanctity of life. Why we should preserve life, because we are made in the image of God. And after that, we need to understand, okay, so now we know that life is important. We know the sanctity of life, but what about the sanctity of the unborn? Is found in Psalms 139:13-16, and this shows that God's cares for the unborn. And it says this: for you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully, wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, my soul knoweth well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made secret, intricately woven from the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance, and in your book was written, every one of them, the days that were set before me, as yet there was none of them. God knew us. He formed us in our mother's womb, okay? So that shows us that God cares for the unborn, that He's right there in the mix of the creation of the unborn. The last verse I'm going to talk about is how God is protecting the unborn in a law in Exodus 21-23. And it says this: when men strive together and hit a pregnant woman so that her children come out, but there is no harm, the one who hit her shall surely be fined, as the woman's husband shall impose on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if there is harm, then you shall pay life for life. Pretty much, if the man hits a woman and she gives birth and that baby dies, okay, then in essence, that man practically dies. The point is that the unborn child is equal to a human. Let me say that again. The unborn child is equal to an adult human. We really need to answer the question of when does life begin? And I believe life begins when the sperm fertilizes the egg. And the reason for that is because all the information that is needed is already there. It's already unique. So that cell, because it's half of the information from the mother and half of the information from the father come together and makes one unique human being that never have seen this combination ever in this entire world. Baby, even at cellular level, is alive, because what is considered alive is that it has a metabolism, it has growth, reaction to stimuli, and reproduction. Have you ever seen a one-cell organism? Right? And they consider that life, okay? And then we need to talk about organism. It must function separately, but doesn't have to function independently. Well, that's what the baby in the womb is. It can function separately, but it doesn't need to function independently, which it doesn't. I'm against abortion because I believe that a human being, because I believe a human being is a human being from the time the sperm fertilizes the egg. And I believe that killing a human being is sin, and it is murder, because we are made in God's image. And because we are made in God's image, there is the sanctity of life that needs to be preserved. Okay, to just wrap this whole video up, I want to talk about if there's any reason why abortion would be deemed okay. My answer is, practically the answer is no. Just going to throw that out there. And I just pray that I won't be in any of these situations. And I also pray that if I am in any of these situations, that I will have godly people right there beside me to remind me of God's truth, to remind me of God's truth and to encourage me to follow into God's truth and what God is calling me to do at that moment in my life. First thing is rape. And the first thing I want to say is that I'm going to read to you a little part of an essay that I wrote for English class about abortion. And so I'm just going to read this quick excerpt, and this kind of answers the whole debate of is it okay to have abortion if the woman was raped? And quick answer is no, but here's what I wrote. Though the existence of the unborn came through rape, abortion will never erase the crime, for all it does is murder the innocent and can traumatize the victim beyond the rape itself due to her possible realization of murdering her own child. Let's just sit there for a minute. The fact that abortion is murdering a child, murdering her own child, that a mother is murdering her own child. It's hard to wrap your mind around that, isn't it? So the woman who is a victim, victimizing her own child or killing it, is still a crime. You again an answer about what I said about incest, okay? As for incest, like rape, it cannot justify abortion because it too is murdering an innocent human due to someone else's crime or someone else's choice. Crime, okay? And then genetic development, like Down syndrome, and they've been able to discover some other genetic development and say, oh, why don't we just put the child out of misery or something like that? Here's my answer to this. Genetic development is not a reason for abortion, for God states in his word that people are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalms 139:14, and we just read that earlier in this video. God formed the unborn and gave them his image to bear. No matter the deformity or genetic development, they are still human, and aborting them is still murder. Tricky question ever is, what if the mother's life is in danger, and what if the child's life is in danger? Usually it's the mother's life who is in danger. And let me just first say that is a rarity, okay? So most abortions are not because the mother's life is in danger. Only 4% of abortion is due to physical problem with the woman's health. And only 3% is possible problems affecting the health of the fetus, the unborn child. And so when it comes down to this, there has been many ways to help with this. Many times doctors can intervene. And sometimes abortion itself is just as risky as choosing to not do abortion. So this is my personal view. We need to do whatever we can to save life. And I can't tell people what to do, but I kind of think of the mother situation as if a guy had a gun in his hand and is about to kill the child. And the mother deliberately steps forward in front of the gun and realizing that she could possibly kill, and her child could possibly die too, which is often the case in situation where the mother could die, right? But the mother still takes the risk so that there might be a possibility that her child lives. And that's the way I kind of see this. The last thing I want to say is in this situation is that sometimes they do surgeries to try to move the fertilized egg to where it's supposed to be. And something that can cause a miscarriage altogether. And honestly, in that case, when you're trying to save both the mother and child's life, because the child can die if it's outside the uterus as well. So in that case, I don't consider that abortion. In that case, the intention is to save the child. So what if the child's life is in danger? Sometimes doctors can know that the child cannot live outside the womb. And actually, I was able to read a story, and I actually have the video of her telling you the story down in the description box below. I hope you guys watch it. And it's about this woman who carried her daughter for 9 months, knowing that she would only live a couple minutes outside, couple seconds or minutes outside the womb. And I think that's an amazing story. And honestly, this is my defense why I think what she did was the right thing to do. And this is my reason. Doctors might be wrong. There might be a miracle. And honestly, when a son or daughter may not have long to live, when a parent knows that, does this mean we say, okay, let's just end it, right? When a child is diagnosed with cancer and we know that all the cancer treatments don't work anymore, does that mean, okay, we just end the child's life? No. Why? Because there's the sanctity of life, because that child is valuable. So letting the child live as long as possible, we uphold the value of life. We give the child the fullest life possible that he or she can have. And being with the child as long as possible. Taking away this chance, this is why I said in my paper, taking away the chance for, this is the conclusion for everything I have said about the mother and child's life. Taking away this chance, in parentheses, mother and child to live, in parentheses, is ignoring and denying the dignity and the fact that both bear the image of God. So when it comes down to this, I believe, I can't tell everybody what to do, but I believe whatever has the greatest percentage of the mother and child living is the step that needs to be taken. I hope this informed you and understand the situation that is happening, as there is a fight in this world, in the United States and in the entire world, for life for the unborn. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you guys next time. Please subscribe, push that bell button, get notifications so you never miss another video again. Comment down below because I'd love to hear from you. And I think that's a wrap. So with that being said, God bless you and I'll see you next time. Bye!